Boston Post is an after-school program that gives students a space to work on poetry and spoken word. Started by Tony De La Rosa in 2013, Pulse now has a presence in 3 middle schools and 2 high schools in and around Boston. I had the opportunity to speak with 4 students involved in the program at Matt's Charter School in Jamaica Plain. They filled me in on the stories behind some of their poetry.
I just wrote a new one called Why, and it's a little bit shorter, as you can see. I actually haven't read this to anyone. Nobody.
Oh, for real? Okay.
I just wrote it like right now. It's kind of like about my hair and my skin not getting along, because people always look at my hair and think I'm black, but they look at my skin and think I'm white. So most people think that I am white because of my skin, but then they see my hair out and they're like, "Oh, your hair's poofy. It's curly. It's poofy, like poofy and nappy. So you're black." And I'm like, how did you not see that from my facial expressions? If you see my mom, you know that I'm black. If you see my dad, you know that I'm white. It's like, but my dad is in Ohio, so I don't see him. But my mom lives with me, and whenever my friends come over, they're like, "I thought you were white. Are you adopted or something?" I'm like, "No, that's my mom."
It was basically about our race and what it means to us. One of my favorite lines is when I talked about Barbados and France, and I can't really remember the poem exactly, but I was talking about how each nationality was fighting against each other. And it's like, it kind of showed how the world basically thinks in a way.
Well, my poem's about how I feel when I'm black, and like when I walk around my neighborhood and people like stand away from me because they think I'm gonna hurt them or something because of my skin color, or like when I watch TV and you don't see very much black people on TV. And I love anime, and I don't really see black people in anime. I feel most colored when I want to cosplay as my favorite anime character, but I can't because my skin tone doesn't match theirs. I like to use a lot of repetition and then talk about my repetition and explain things. Like, I like to bring out different topics inside my poems to make them like kind of mix it up instead of keeping it the same. I feel most black when I go to dress up on Halloween and people stare at me like I'm a doll to pick up and play with. I feel most black when I call them out on their staring and they back away as if I'm going to hurt them.
Alright, so the title, you can basically tell the poem by the title. The title is Shame on America. It's about the election, so Shame on America. So it's basically like, I don't want to say belittling America, but like making America look at what they've done. Like, you just ruined everything. This is like the last of it. This is all caps. We had the power to save ourselves for the next 4 years. There is no us in the U.S. anymore. There is no American dream. There is just America, and look what you've become. This is like America's guilty. They should be guilty. They did something wrong, in my opinion.
It's kind of like, you can keep poems to yourself or you can show them to other people. I mostly keep them to myself, but I like to show them to my parents. I do vent a lot in my poetry or in song. It's really easy for me to just write it all down instead of like trying to talk about it.
Feels relieved because you don't have to hold it all in anymore. You get to write about it and tell others about it instead of just holding it all in and telling yourself about it.
When I wrote this, it made me not scream at someone around me that didn't do anything. When I wrote this, I put everything I felt into this. Like, I put everything I actually wanted to say to the people who voted to him into this. Like, if I walked up to a Donald Trump supporter, this is exactly what I would say to them.
Before, I used to be like really scared of speaking in public, and now that I really worked on it with Mr. D and we've like been performing a lot, it's like second nature basically.